Hello students, good morning, very good morning and welcome to Concept Tree. My name is Pragya Mishra and I am your chemistry faculty. Very good morning. Hello Manan, Jay, Nandini. Hello everyone. So how is everybody? Let's just wait for a couple of minutes for other students to join the session. And till then you all just tell me how many of you have revised the previous classes. The session 3 was very important and I hope you all have revised it very clearly. So have you revised? Hi Kirtana, Sana, Divya. Have you all revised the previous session where we learned important things? And one of the important things we are going to learn in this session as well. This is very important and very conceptual session. This will clear a lot of concepts. So, should we start, students? I think now we should start. Okay. So, this is a very important session. See, we have studied about the stoichiometric analysis in the previous session. That was our bridge course session 3, where we discussed how to calculate the stoichiometric moles and stoichiometric masses given in a reaction. Now in this session we will understand about the limiting reagent. What we will discuss? We will discuss about the limiting reagent in this session because that was left in the previous class. We understood that with the help of stoichiometric analysis, we can find out the relationship between the reactant and product amounts. We can find out how much is the total product is formed. We can, in this session, we will find out that how to identify the limiting reagent and what is a limiting reagent, and how it is that the use or the importance of stoichiometric analysis in titration and quantitative estimations is also very important. With the help of stoichiometric analysis, you can find out a lot of things like the concentration, number of moles, molar mass, molar volume, all these things you can find out with the help of this. So what we will learn in today's session? So let's take these 3 statements. Suppose we all know about the Haber process, right? Do we all know about the Haber process, students? What is Haber process? Where we have, let me write here, I think. So in the Haber process, we have nitrogen plus hydrogen and then ammonia, right? So some moles of, how many moles? That we can see the reaction, and with the stoichiometry understanding, you can find out that how many moles are participating in the reaction and how many moles are forming as a product in the reaction. So here we have number of moles: 1 mole of nitrogen, 3 mole of hydrogen and 2 moles of ammonia are formed. This ratio will be constant always. This 1:3 ratio will be constant no matter how much volume or how much mass of the reactant and product you will take, but this will be constant. What will be constant? This 1:3. 1 mole of nitrogen will react with 3 mole of hydrogen. That will be constant for always. And with the reaction of 1 mole of nitrogen and 3 mole of hydrogen, 2 moles of ammonia will be formed. So I hope that is clear to all the students. That is what we have learned in the previous session, right? And now you see, students, there is stoichiometric mass. Let's take mass is what? How many moles are participating? We will calculate their mass. By the simple method, we already know 1 mole of nitrogen will be 28 gram, will be of 28 gram. 3 moles of hydrogen, 6 gram. 2 moles of ammonia, right? So stoichiometric mass will be what? This is what? This is your stoichiometric mass. So 28 gram, 6 gram and 34 gram, right? So this is your stoichiometric mass. Now students, you can see that 28 gram of nitrogen is reacting with 6 gram of hydrogen, then 34 gram of ammonia is formed. Okay, try to understand what I am trying to say. Now students, why this 28 gram and 6 gram, or the formation of a particular amount of product? So we will not bother about for now the amount of product, but we will focus on the amount or the masses of reactants given. Here we have been given 28 gram of nitrogen, 6 gram of hydrogen. So is this constant? I mean, we have taken ratio is 1:3. Okay, ratio is 1:3 in terms of moles. Moles are what? 1:3. 1 for nitrogen, 3 for hydrogen. These are the moles of nitrogen and hydrogen. Mass we have, stoichiometric mass is what? 28 gram of nitrogen, 6 gram of hydrogen. Now, you see in this statement what is given? What if we take 28 gram of nitrogen gas and 6 gram of hydrogen to produce ammonia? So, if this reaction is possible or not, right? We have to find out whether the reaction will be possible or not. So, let's move to the second. What if we take 28 gram of nitrogen gas and 4 gram of hydrogen to produce ammonia? Now you see, nitrogen is 28, but the hydrogen is 4 gram. Let's just do not think about anything else. Just focus on the statements, what these questions are literally asking. Next is, what if we take 20 gram of nitrogen and 6 gram of hydrogen to produce ammonia? What will happen then? What will happen, students? So, in this session, you will understand that how much amount of a reactant is basically required for the product formation. Now you see, for a reaction to occur, you need minimum amount of reactants at least. At least means at least 28 gram of nitrogen should be there and at least 6 gram of hydrogen should be there for the formation of ammonia. I am giving you an example. Let's say 28 gram of nitrogen is mandatory for the reaction and 6 gram of hydrogen is essential for the reaction to occur. Now, if we are varying, if we are changing, means we are minimizing the amount of a reactant. Will it affect the product or will it affect the reaction? So that's what you will understand in this session, and that's what we call limiting reactant. When a reaction is occurring, this 28 gram of nitrogen and 6 gram of hydrogen is completely used. This is completely used. Now what if we have less amount of hydrogen? What if we have only 2 gram of hydrogen and 28 gram of nitrogen? So 28 gram of hydrogen is okay, but we do not have enough amount of hydrogen. So this will be finished. Before the product will be formed, this will be finished, and that's what we call, yes, Divya, absolutely right, that's what we call limiting reactant or reagent. Okay, so the reactant which is totally consumed during the course of reaction, and when it is consumed, reaction stops. When it will be finished, the reaction, how the reaction will occur? hydrogen is finished. We had only 2 grams of hydrogen, and now no matter what, 28 gram of ammonia, 28 gram of nitrogen was there, but the hydrogen is not there, na? Hydrogen is not enough. So how it will give us ammonia? Now there will be no formation of ammonia because hydrogen is consumed completely. So the reaction will stop. And because of that reactant that was limited, which is limited here? This hydrogen is in limited quantity. So hydrogen will be considered as the limiting reagent because that is in the limited quantity. That's why we are calling it limiting reagent or limiting reactant. So I hope that is clear, right student? So what is limiting reagent? The reactant which is totally consumed during the course of reaction, and when it is consumed, reaction will stop. Because of what? Because of the absence of basically enough amount of reactant. So the reactant which is not in enough quantity, that will be limiting reactant or limiting reagent. Clear students? Clear or not? Quickly tell me in the chat section because we have a lot of important discussion to make. So how you will find out? How you will find out the limiting reagent? So ultimately what we are going to learn in this session, what is limiting reagent and how to calculate the limiting reagent. Which is the limiting reagent out of the reactants. So we will find out. How we will find out? First of all, to determine the limiting reagent, given amounts of reactant and stoichiometric amount of reactants must be known. Stoichiometric mass we know. How can we calculate? If we know the number of moles, we can calculate the stoichiometric mass. Stoichiometry mass. So we have to first of all see given amount of the reactants and stoichiometry mass of the reactants. And then the reactant for which the ratio is less. The reactant which has ratio of given amount to stoichiometric amount is least, that will be the limiting reagent. Which will be the limiting reagent? The ratio. Let's take an example. We will take an example. We have plenty of example in the session. I'm just giving you. So here is what? Suppose some amount of nitrogen. Suppose X amount of nitrogen and Y amount of hydrogen was given. So we will see given mass. This is your given mass. And then stoichiometric mass. So stoichiometric mass was for nitrogen is 28 gram and 6 gram of hydrogen. So now you will calculate the ratio. Ratio, what kind of ratio you are calculating? Ratio of given amount, that is X gram, divided by stoichiometric mass, that is 28. So you will do X divided by 28 and you will compare X divided by 28 and Y divided by 6. So whichever is least, now you calculate, and whichever is least, that will be your limiting reagent. If it is less for nitrogen, then nitrogen will be limiting reagent. If it is less for hydrogen, hydrogen will be the limiting reagent. One is limiting reagent, then other will be called as excess reagent. Okay? So now let's see the example. So what is the example we have? What if we take 28 gram of nitrogen gas and 4 gram of hydrogen to produce ammonia? Make a table. Make a table and see nitrogen's mass was given 28 gram of nitrogen, 4 gram of hydrogen. That is given. So we have written 28 gram, 4 gram. Now stoichiometric mass. So for nitrogen it's 28 gram and for hydrogen it's 6 gram. Now we will find out the ratio for nitrogen and hydrogen to find out the limiting reagent. We just have to know that given mass, stoichiometric mass, ratio we will calculate, and the ratio which is least either for nitrogen or hydrogen in this case, that will be the limiting reagent. So let's calculate. Ratio 28 divided by 28, 4 by 6. So 1 and 2 by 3. So which is less? Here which one is less? 1 or 2 by 3? Which one is less, students? Which one is less? 1 or 2 by 3? I hope that that we all know. So 1 is for nitrogen, this ratio. Now you see, students, one thing I just want to tell you here, that if amount is given, so we will calculate in gram. Obviously we know that mass is given, so we will divide given mass divided by stoichiometric mass. But in some cases number of moles are given, so we have to divide number of moles into number of moles. We will find out the ratio in between number of moles and number of moles. Okay, so for ratio, units must be same, whether they are in gram or they are in moles. That's it. So yes, absolutely right, Kirtana, 2 by 3 is less. So which is the limiting reagent? Tell me very quickly. Tell me very quickly which one is the limiting reagent here. Who is the limiting reagent? N2 or H2? Nitrogen or hydrogen? Which one is the limiting reagent? Hydrogen or nitrogen? You know, we know that 2 by 3 is lesser than 1. Then what is the limiting reagent? Which one is the limiting reagent out of nitrogen and hydrogen? Quickly. Yes, Jay, absolutely right. Since 2 by 3 is lesser, and what did we learn about how to find out limiting reagent? The reactant for which the ratio of given amount of stoichiometric amount is least. So it is least for 2 by 3. So hydrogen is the limiting reagent and nitrogen is the access reagent here. Okay, very good. Sana, Jay, Nandini, Shri, everybody, you all are right. Now we have this question. Now we have a question. So before you read the question, just see that you have grams, means mass is given, amount is given. Because in two kinds of question may be there, either in moles, either you have been given number of moles or you have been given amounts. So you just have to see whether we have to find out, means you have to see with respect to amount or with respect to moles. That is it. So let us see, this reaction is what is Haber process? We already know that is the reaction of nitrogen and hydrogen to produce ammonia. That is our Haber process. Okay. Yes, so this is the balanced reaction. Now dear students, this question is saying during Haber's process to prepare ammonia, 42 gram of nitrogen gas and 12 gram of hydrogen gas are taken. So what is the limiting reagent and what is the access reagent? Very good. Try to solve this question along me. You just try to solve this question and see, I am telling you this question, but the next question you will have to, very good. I think I have answer from Jay. Very good, very well done Jay. So let us see. Other students also try. You also try, otherwise I will be helping you, but you must try on your own, because then only okay Rifa, okay. So see what we have been given. So first of all we will find out given mass. Given mass is for nitrogen we have been given 42 gram. Let me change the color of the pen. So stoichiometric mass also we will find out, and then we will see the ratio. Okay, now I am changing the color. So given 42 gram nitrogen, 12 gram of hydrogen. Now stoichiometric mass is, for nitrogen it's 28 gram, for hydrogen it's 6 gram. So now tell me students, which one is the limiting reagent? So we have to just calculate the ratio. As simple as that. Just find out the ratio and tell me which one is the limiting reagent, which one is the access reagent. Tell me, you tell me now. Just the simple calculation. Here we have to do, okay. Yes, nitrogen is 42 gram given in the question. In the question it's given 42 gram. So what is the limiting reagent here? Which is the limiting reagent, students? Nitrogen or hydrogen? Ratio you have to calculate and that's it. Which one? You just tell me which one is the limiting reagent and which one is the excess reagent. 42 divided by 28 and 12 divided by 6. So that is the simple 2. And 42 divided by 28, that will be okay. Nandini says 14 gram nitrogen, 3 gram hydrogen. Okay, so H2. Which one is the limiting reagent, students? Which? Very good, very good. See, this is 2 and when you will calculate it, that will be around 1.5. So which one is least? 1.5 is least. So it is for nitrogen. So nitrogen is the limiting reagent, kids, and hydrogen is the excess reagent. Okay. So that is clear. Very good, very good. Nitrogen is the limiting reagent. Absolutely right. Moving to the next question. Now the question is, read the question very, very carefully, students. Read the question very good. Since 3 gram is left, but nitrogen. No, nitrogen is the excess. No, dear Nandini. How the nitrogen is in excess? You find out the ratio. Find out the ratio. Whichever is least. Whichever is least, that will be the reactant, which will be limiting reagent. Okay, Nandini? So clear the concept. Clear the concept in your mind. 42 divided by 28. Divide it and you will find 1.5 and this is 2. 12 divided by 6, that is 2. So 1.5 is obviously lesser than 2. So this is the ratio for nitrogen. So nitrogen will be the limiting reagent. Yes, Divya, absolutely right. Now Nandini, I think this question is clear. The concept is clear with you. Moving to the next question. During the formation of SO3 from SO2 and O2, 1 mole. Now see, here we have been given mole. What we have been given? Mole. And 22.4 liters sulfur dioxide gas at STP are taken. So which is limiting reagent? So I am giving you the reaction. Formation is of sulfur trioxide. So sulfur dioxide plus oxygen gives out sulfur trioxide. So we will balance the reaction. We will balance the reaction, that is 2. Okay, fine. So we have balanced it. Now you see, we have been given number of moles, kids. What we have been given? Number of moles, and one more thing, 22.4 liter sulfur dioxide. Now you see, students, we have been given molar volume. What we have been given? Molar volume. So what is molar volume? Volume of 1 mole of gas, of any ideal gas at STP. So that is 22.4. So number of moles here will be, so volume, molar volume is 22.4 for any ideal gas. So we have been given 22.4 liter. So we will divide 22.4 divided by 22.4 and that is 1 mole of SO2. So number of moles we have been given here. So we will see number of moles and then stoichiometric moles, and then we will find out the ratio. You just have to find out the ratio whether in terms of gram or in terms of moles. In terms of gram you will calculate when you have been given amounts, and moles when you have been given moles, right? As simple as that. So you see now, number of moles 20 during the formation of sulfur trioxide for this 1 mole of oxygen, and 22.4 liter SO2, that is the molar volume, so that is also 1 mole. Now stoichiometric mole, so that is 2, 1 and 2 for the product. Now dear students, calculate. Very good Kirtana, very good, very good. Now ratio will be what? Calculate the ratio. 1:2 and 1:1. So whichever is less, 1:2 or 1/1. That is only 1. So which is the limiting reagent here? Which one is the limiting reagent, kids? This is very simple. Calculate, calculate and tell me very quickly. Which one is the limiting reagent? Very good, Jay. Very good. Very good. Jay has answered correctly. Absolutely right. Dear Dinesh, you have written H is equals to axis region. No dear, that is the axis reagent. Axis region nahi, axis reagent. We write it like this. One is a limiting reagent. So that is how you spell it. Limiting reagent. Okay. And then axis reagent. Okay. That is how you spell it. Okay, Dinesh, I hope now this is clear. Very good. SO2 is the limiting reagent because that is 1/2.5 is lesser than 1. So SO2 is the limiting reagent and oxygen is the axis reagent. Now students, you know, you can calculate it very easily. But also you can use some common sense. See, when there are 2 moles, then 2 moles of product are forming. So the ratio is 2:1. So the number of moles as of the SO2, that many number of moles of the product will be formed. So these are simple things you can easily get with the stoichiometry of the reaction, right? Moving to the next important thing which we must know. These are the points which we must know, that limiting reagent will get fully consumed and the reaction will stop after that, right? Limiting reagent, when it is finished, reaction will stop. All other terms like left, unused mass of other reactant, amount of the formed product can be determined from the amount of limiting reactant. If you know the amount of limiting reactant, you can easily calculate the left amount of the reactant. Okay? Limiting reactant will be consumed fully. Right? And if you want to know that what is the amount of other reactant left, how can you calculate? By finding out the amount of limiting reactant, right? So moving to the question. Next question is 4 gram of hydrogen reacts with 20 gram of oxygen to form water. The mass of water formed is, how much amount of water will be formed? So you dear students, I am writing this equation. Calculate it quickly, quickly calculate it. I want you all to know and I want you all to solve this question. Quickly solve this question. Solve this question and tell me what will be the answer. We have been given amounts here. Okay, Jay. You have opted the right answer, by the way. So hi Sohel, Mohammad Sohel, absolutely right. Very good, Divya, Dinesh, Jay, Kirtana. Come on, quickly try to solve this question and tell me what will be the answer. Quickly find out the solution for this question. Hi Yadunandan. Okay, so Jay and Yadunandan opted the right answer. I am not revealing. For now, Dinesh is also right. But I hope you all know how to solve it, right? How to solve it? 3 simple steps. 3 simple steps here. Find, means you have been given masses. You have been given masses already. So, given mass. Then stoichiometric mass. Then the ratio, then change the color of the pen. So given masses are 4 gram, 32 gram, and here we have 36 gram. Stoichiometric mass 6 gram, 4 gram, wait, I have written here give stoichiometric 4 gram is given, 20 gram is for oxygen, that is given. Now stoichiometric 4 gram, 32 gram and 36 gram. Okay, 36 gram. Now ratio 4 by 4 1, 20 by 32, 20 by 32, that will be 5 by 8, 5 by 8. Okay, and leave it. So this is 5 by 8. This is the limiting reagent. Which one is the limiting reagent here, kids? Oxygen is the limiting reagent. And now the amount of product will depend on this limiting reagent. Okay, because no matter how much hydrogen is left now, the reaction will stop because oxygen is finished and we require oxygen for the course of the reaction. So now you see, if there was 32 gram of oxygen, then we had 36 gram of water. So in case of 20 gram of oxygen, 36 gram divided by 32 gram, and we will multiply it by 20 and we will have the answer 22.5 grams. So that is option number 3 is the right answer. Okay, clear? Moving to the next question. The question is 0.50 mole of barium chloride is mixed with 0.20 mole of sodium phosphate. The maximum number of moles of barium phosphate that can be formed. Here we have been given number of moles and you have the reaction also in front of you. Try to solve this question in terms of moles now, because for calculation of ratio, no matter if the if moles are given or amount or the mass is given, you have to divide. Just keep that in your mind that units must be same. Do not divide amount by number of moles. Do not do that. Don't do that you are dividing mass divided by number of moles. So do not ever, never do that. Ratio, for calculation of ratio, at least means we have to keep the units same. Now try to solve this question. Maximum number of moles of barium phosphate. This is your barium chloride. This is your sodium phosphate. This is your barium phosphate. And you have to tell me how many number of moles of barium phosphate can be formed. Hi Akash. Quickly solve this question and tell me what is the right answer. Number of moles are given. Number of moles are given. Can you solve this? You have to find out maximum number of moles. Now you see, student, you can use your logic that 3 moles of barium chloride, 2 moles of sodium phosphate, 1 mole of barium phosphate, 6 moles of sodium chloride. First of all, find out the limiting reagent. Find out the limiting reagent. And because why we are finding out the limiting reagent? Because on the limiting reagent, the quantity or the amount or the number of moles of the product will be depending. So find out the limiting reagent and then compare. Just compare whichever is the limiting reagent. Just compare with that reactant, with the number of moles of that reactant, and you will be able to find out the correct answer. Okay, so we have Nihal and Dinesh who have opted the right answer. Now let me help you if in case you have any doubt. So number of moles given. Number of moles, then a stoichiometric mole, and then the ratio. So what we are doing here, so barium chloride we have been given 0.50 moles, sodium phosphate we have been given 0.20 moles, and stoichiometric mole is 3 to 1, right? Ratio. Now we all know 1.1, we can write it 0.50, we can write it 1 by 2, and we can write it 1 by 5 for this for the convenience of our calculation only. So we will find out the ratio 1 by 2 into 3, that is 1 by 6, and not minus, wait, you will get confused. So yes, now 1 by 5 into 2, that is 1 by 10. Which one is less? Which one is less? Kids, which one is less, 1 by 6 or 1 by 10? Obviously 1 by 10 is less, so this is the limiting reagent now. Sodium phosphate is the limiting reagent, and on that our product will be depending. So how you will calculate now the number of moles of barium phosphate? You see, if we consider number of moles of BaCl2 divided by their stoichiometric moles is equal to number of moles of sodium phosphate. We are just comparing nothing. I am just giving it a mathematical form so that you do not get confused. Otherwise this is just comparing. Divided by 1. So this is the limiting reagent, right? This is your limiting reagent, and it is 1 by 10. So you are 1 by 10 is because 1 by 10 is lesser. So how many of it is 1 by 5? So now we are comparing these two. So 1 by 5 into 2 is equal to number of moles of barium phosphate, that is 1 by 10 is equals to 0.10 number of moles of barium phosphate. You are just comparing. You just have to do what? 1 by how many moles of sodium phosphate here? 2, and half of that is of barium phosphate. So you could have just calculated by calculating the number of moles. 1 by 5 is here, so the half of that will be is of barium phosphate. Clear? So I hope the question is clear. Moving to the next question. The next question is, during Haber's process to prepare ammonia, 42 gram of nitrogen and 12 gram of hydrogen gases are taken. What is the amount of ammonia formed? Quickly tell me what is the amount of ammonia formed. You have to tell me the correct answer of this question. During Haber's process to prepare ammonia, so we all know what is the reaction. Nitrogen plus hydrogen gives out ammonia. Okay? Calculate the amount of ammonia if amount of nitrogen gas and amount of hydrogen gases are given. Hydrogen gas are given. So can you calculate and tell me what is the amount of ammonia formed? I think we can calculate, right? We can calculate, right? So Kirtana, Sana, Jay, Dinesh, Nihal, Akash, Utkarsh, everybody try to solve this. Jay. And let's see who gives the answer fast. Who will give the answer? Take your time and try to solve it. The simple method which we are using since the beginning. Ratio, and by that find out the limiting reagent, and if you know the limiting reagent, you can calculate the product, because on that quantity our product will be depending. Arey, very good, very good. Jay has answered correctly and at first. So very good, Jay. Other students, you also try. Sana, please try. I know you can do it. You all can do it because we all know the process. We all know the method. Very good. Nihal, absolutely right. So you see, how did we calculate it? Given mass. Make the table, because table will make the system and pattern will be easier. That's it. Ratio. Write these three things down. and for nitrogen given mass is 42 gram. For hydrogen it's 12 gram, and stoichiometric mass is 28. For hydrogen 6 gram, 17 into 2, 34 gram, right? Ratio 42 divided, see, units are same na, units are same, so 42 divided by 28, 12 divided by 6, so what will be the 42 divided by 28, 42 divided by 28, that will be 3 by 2, 3 by 2, and that is 2. So which one is less? Which one is less, kids? Which one is less? 3 by 2 is least. So the ratio which is least, so corresponding to that reactant, that will be your limiting reagent. For the reactant for which the ratio is least, that is your limiting reagent. So nitrogen is the limiting reagent, and you see when it was 28 gram of nitrogen, we had 34 gram of ammonia. So for 42 gram of nitrogen, how much? 34 divided by 28 into 42. The calculation is very simple and you can calculate it, and then you will be having 51 gram of ammonia. Okay, very good, very good, very good, absolutely right, very good, Dinesh, Nandini, everybody has solved the question correctly, and the correct answer is 51 gram. Okay, very simple now, wear it and you will get hands on with it, right? Okay, clear? Now you see we have next question where we have been asked, in a lime kiln 800 gram of limestone, that is calcium carbonate, is started to get heated. In how much time we will get 100 kilogram of quick lime? So we have to tell the reaction is, what is the reaction occurring here? So we are heating calcium carbonate and calcium oxide plus carbon dioxide will be formed. On heating calcium carbonate, we will have calcium carbonate and carbon dioxide. So we have been asked that 800 kilogram of calcium carbonate is heating. So in how much time? What we have to tell? How much time we will get 100 kilogram of quick lime? Can we tell this? Read the question. Tell me, Divyashri, Kirtana, Manan, Nandini. Initially we had 800 kilogram of calcium carbonate. In how much time we will get 100 kilogram of quick lime? In how much time? Can we tell this, students? Time is what? Time. Can we calculate the time? Can we calculate the time? No, we cannot, because that is the limitation of stoichiometric analysis. What is the limitation? That we cannot comment on the rate or the speed of reaction. You cannot tell in how much time the reaction will be completed. So you cannot tell the rate of reaction. What you cannot tell? Rate of reaction you cannot tell with the help of stoichiometric analysis. You cannot explain the role of catalyst. Catalyst is what? Is basically which either speeds up the reaction or slows it down without even taking part in the reaction. And also we cannot explain the idea of equilibrium. What is equilibrium? When the amount of reactant is equal to the amount of the product. In very simple term, you can say that what is equilibrium? When the amount of reactant is in equilibrium with the amount of product. Okay, so that is the idea of equilibrium. Clear, students? So these three things which are basically the limitation of stoichiometric analysis, that you cannot tell the rate or the speed of reaction. You cannot tell the how much time, what is the rate. When it comes to rate, you have to divide it with time. You have to deal with the time, because then only you can tell the speed or the rate. What is the speed? In physics also you study na, that distance upon time. So time we must know, distance upon time. So that you cannot tell, because that is the limitation of stoichiometric analysis. You cannot tell the rate of reaction, you cannot tell the catalyst role, or you cannot deal with the idea of equilibrium. These are the limitations of stoichiometric analysis. But what all we can know with the help of stoichiometric analysis? What all we can know? We can know what about the molar masses. Stoichiometric analysis will help you in finding out the relation between reactant and product. Their comparison you can do. You can deal with the comparison of the reactant and product. You can find out very important things, just like the relation between the reactant and product, the amount of the product form, about the limiting reagents, about the excess reagents. So these are the things you can study or you can get to know with the help of stoichiometric analysis, right? So I hope this concept is quite clear to you, and do not forget to revise this session, or do not forget to solve as much as questions you can solve for practice, because that will help you a lot. Okay, that will help you, because practice is the key. Practice will make you perfect in any concept, and this is very important in your 11th, 12th and in competitive examinations. Questions related to this will be asked a lot, and students get confused over very little things. What is mole, molecule, what is the, how we can calculate, what is mole concept. So we have learnt about the mole concept, stoichiometric analysis, molecular formula. All these things very important, and do not forget to practice on these. Now we'll see you in the next session. Till then, take care and keep learning, and happy learning. Bye bye.